Naruto. Myriad Realms Lottery System. An invincible cheat to dominate the ninja world. Chapter 81. Zhang Ming calmly spoke with Uzumaki Naruto after sending all the customers away, because he really didn't expect Uzumaki Naruto to stay put at the ninja school. Even if he knew something had happened in the village, he wouldn't come here. Of course he came, and not only that, he spent all his money buying these lottery tickets. Furthermore, a detail Zhang Ming forgot to notice just now was that the money he took out was actually from the land of water, which naturally surprised Zhang Ming. But he still didn't say much. He also didn't know what to do, only feeling that what this person said to him was right, but what should be done now? I know you've spent all your money, but really, you shouldn't be like this, spending so much money just to buy lottery tickets. Pang Hu, Jing Shang, and Sakura Kojima, who were nearby, suddenly rolled their eyes at Zhang Ming when they heard him say that. Their inner thought was, aren't you ruining your own reputation by talking to someone like that? However, Uzumaki Naruto didn't notice at all. Instead, his face was full of worry. Zhang Ming knew what was going on as soon as he saw him like this, so Zhang Ming was naturally very sad, but he still didn't know how to talk to him properly. So, at this moment, Zhang Ming decided he should explain it clearly to him. There are so many powerful people in your ninja school. Those who bought lottery tickets from me last time should all be clear about it. Also, Iruka-sensei should be at the school, right? As soon as Zhang Ming asked that, Uzumaki Naruto unexpectedly became very sad, then his face filled with worry, and he recounted what had happened at the school recently to Zhang Ming with a concerned expression. After the Akatsuki organization came here, it seemed like they were after the lottery tickets. But after not seeing you in Konoha village, they already went and captured many people, questioning them about your whereabouts and demanding an explanation from us. Zhang Ming slammed the table and stood up when he heard this. It was simply too much. He had originally thought that this time it was just because people from this organization wanted to find some powerful ninja to serve as their slaves. He just didn't expect them to come looking for him. What exactly did they want by looking for him? Did they covet the treasures that this system could produce? How dare they be so outrageous? What happened later? What happened to teacher? And you don't have any pocket money now, what happened to your money? As Uzumaki Naruto spoke of these things, he was filled with pain and sadness, as he had never expected things to turn out this way. His heart was now full of anguish, and he spoke to Zhang Ming with a resentful expression. You don't know about this. If you did, you'd be even angrier. He said that since your system is so miraculous, why don't you bring it to their organization and serve them? When Zhang Ming heard this, he instantly felt it was the most ridiculous joke in the world. Why should he give them the system he obtained? Moreover, he was selling lottery tickets here. How did they know he had this system on him? And the system was already bound to him. Even if they wanted to take it, they probably wouldn't know how to use it, so the system wouldn't agree either. It's just that Zhang Ming truly detested their idea of forced buying and selling. As far as I know, this organization is at least a well-known organization. Even if they're villains, they should still care about their reputation a bit. How is this any different from bandits? Uzumaki Naruto naturally agreed wholeheartedly when he heard this, but even if he agreed completely, there was nothing that could be done. Moreover, the people from this organization had already made up their minds to demand an explanation from Zhang Ming and to have Zhang Ming handed over. Are you talking about that previous organization? I heard from my family that after someone in my family spoke with them before, my aunt was already driven out. Now that Sakura Kojima had actually come out to say these things to them for a day or two, Zhang Ming truly hadn't expected Sakura Kojima to be so cute and naive. She usually seemed idiotic enough, but this time she came out with such a foolish question. So, Zhang Ming was also speechless, but looking back, it seemed everything was within expectation. Yes, it's just that you don't know about this matter. I also didn't expect it to turn out like this. These people are truly too overbearing. Zhang Ming had now realized that he was in a precarious situation. With the emergence of lottery tickets, he had originally thought people would come to snatch money, but he hadn't expected someone to directly try to seize all the prizes. They even wanted to snatch the system. So, Zhang Ming felt there was no such thing in the world, and he would absolutely not allow them to be so presumptuous. Therefore, Zhang Ming directly spoke to Uzumaki Naruto. I'm still carrying out a mission here, so it's naturally inconvenient for me to act. But if you encounter their leader, pain, especially the true person behind him, tell them to come find me. I'm right here in the land of water. When Sakura Kojima heard Zhang Ming say this, she was filled with admiration and nodded with great relief. That was because Sakura Kojima had already seen how Zhang Ming dealt with Mizuki before. Such a person was truly meaningless, so she believed Zhang Ming would definitely be able to punish evil and promote good, and resolve all matters then. However, to her surprise, Uzumaki Naruto solemnly nodded to Zhang Ming and appeared very resolute, but a moment later, he suddenly spoke to Zhang Ming with a troubled expression. But I really don't have any money now. All this money was earned after I came here to work. I originally wanted to find you earlier, but then I thought, without money to buy lottery tickets, even finding you would probably be useless. So I worked here for a month and earned money, but now I have nothing left. Zhang Ming was instantly speechless. What could be done? He could only temporarily pay out of his own pocket to give him some money, which could only be considered a loan to him. Konoha village seems to be in a precarious situation now. Since this matter started because of me, I'll have to give you money. Go back and tell them. Zhang Ming now displayed the spirit he should have, because he felt that these people were going too far. Since that was the case, he had to go back and show them what rules and propriety were. So this time, he directly spoke to Uzumaki Naruto. Moreover, Uzumaki Naruto was a very clever person. As soon as he heard Zhang Ming say this, he immediately found his courage and was no longer as cowardly as before. Although the people in this organization were indeed terrifying, Uzumaki Naruto had already thought it through. Even if they were terrifying, what could they do? Alright, I understand what you mean. These people are indeed hateful, and this time, as long as you can establish a similar force here, that organization probably won't trouble you again when you go back. Uzumaki Naruto was now full of worry when he mentioned these things, but unexpectedly, Zhang Ming smiled nonchalantly after hearing this. That was because Zhang Ming felt that this matter was very normal. Besides, it wasn't a big deal to begin with, and what these people said to him didn't matter. He was already used to it. Furthermore, at this moment, he felt that this matter was perfectly normal. Now I believe you should be the clearest, and you are such an excellent person. No matter what, you must lead your subordinates to fight them to the end, right? Consider this money as a loan from me. You go back first. Uzumaki Naruto was instantly speechless when he heard this. He had said it was for him, but it turned into a loan again. Did this person have to be so stingy? At this moment, he was especially speechless, so he glanced at Zhang Ming again, but Zhang Ming still had that teasing attitude from before. Just then, Sakura Kojima realized that something was wrong with the situation, so she quickly came to Zhang Ming and whispered something to him. What you're doing is too much. He doesn't have any money, and how can he repay you with money from the land of water? Zhang Ming thought about it carefully and indeed, it made sense. So at this moment, he immediately scratched the back of his head and then smiled at the person, saying, Uzumaki Naruto, I'm really sorry. I just misspoke and was joking with you. This is clearly money given directly to you, how can it be called a loan? Don't you agree? Now Zhang Ming directly said this to them. Anyway, for him, he felt that all of this was very normal. Besides, at this moment, he wasn't particularly concerned about what would happen. The most important point was that he knew Uzumaki Naruto had always been good to him. Alright, since you've already said so, I won't be modest. I'll take this money and go home immediately. Don't worry, I definitely won't disappoint you. Zhang Ming originally thought he would politely refuse, but he unexpectedly agreed so readily to take his money. So at this moment, Zhang Ming greatly admired him. But he didn't say much. This person immediately left. It was then that Sakura looked at Zhang Ming. Anyway, for her, she felt that all of this was very normal. The most important thing was that she couldn't endure or make money at all. She was truly useless, and when they lived together, she would think like this. At this moment, Zhang Ming saw her like this, as if he saw through her thoughts at a glance, so he came over to tease her again. Alright, do you want to stay here for one night, or depart tomorrow? After all, it's getting late. I'll cover all your food and lodging. Zhang Ming thought he was just being polite, but unexpectedly, Uzumaki Naruto still agreed. After all, it was indeed very late now, so this person stayed here with peace of mind. And he even thoroughly enjoyed this luxurious inn, so it was also very speechless to recognize the difficulties, but all of this was very normal. Just then, Sakura Kojima suddenly came over and said to Zhang Ming. You sell so many treasures here. If I go home, that is, after accompanying you to the land of water this time and returning, I must have my family come and buy lottery tickets to see how my luck is. Zhang Ming was very surprised when he heard Sakura Kojima say this. He hadn't expected it to be like this. Besides, at this moment, he looked at Sakura Kojima like that and felt that Sakura Kojima was indeed a very good girl. And originally, he thought that Sakura Kojima was really just very playful, which was why she accompanied him to the land of water. She didn't want to go back and asked him to trick their butler away, but it turned out that a large part of the reason was to accompany him to the land of water. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done that, so at this moment, Zhang Ming's heart was naturally filled with more gratitude. Sakura, so a large part of the reason you came here with me was because of these things. I finally understand now. By the way, I think it's really fun here. Now, when Sakura Kojima heard this, she rolled her eyes at Zhang Ming, tilted her head, and then said to Zhang Ming very happily and proudly. What's this? You haven't seen anything more fun. Anyway, if there's a chance, I'll definitely take you to play and see what it's like over there. You don't even understand, do you? Zhang Ming now had to admire her. Indeed, it was good to be rich, to be able to travel to so many places, and to meet such a good girl. So at this moment, Zhang Ming was once again happy and looked at Sakura Kojima with some indulgence. It seems like you, little rich woman, must have been to more places. In that case, how about you, rich woman, support me? I can accompany you to more places in the future. No matter how fun it is there, I can be with you. Now Sakura Kojima heard the word, rich woman, again, so she started glaring fiercely at Zhang Ming again, retracting her proud demeanor from before, because at this moment, Sakura Kojima was also particularly speechless about Zhang Ming. How many times have I told you? I'm not a rich woman, but you still insist on saying that. If you keep saying that, I won't talk to you anymore. Do you believe I'll hit you? This scene, in Zhang Ming's eyes, also made her seem very cute, but Zhang Ming only smiled happily at her. Alright, if you don't like to hear it, I'll try not to say it. Zhang Ming had already tried his best to control his temper, and besides, he felt that it was truly not easy for such a young lady to come out. So at this moment, he naturally didn't show any temper or give any cold shoulder to this young lady. Zhang Ming had already thought it through. Since Uzumaki Naruto was staying here for a night, that side would definitely be more dangerous, but ultimately, it was all for finding himself. He feared that those people would seize innocent individuals in Konoha village, especially those who were close to him before. So, could Iruka-sensei be in trouble? Zhang Ming suddenly became unhappy at this thought and tightly gripped the fine teacup in his hand. No, this matter is no small feat. Since Uzumaki Naruto is here, I think their side will definitely be very dangerous. I must go back now, I cannot not do this. Zhang Ming had already said this. For him, he felt this matter was extremely important. He truly hadn't expected it to turn out this way. The most crucial point was, if he stayed here all along, then what should Konoha village do? The person they were looking for was him, so why involve those innocent people? But that was the reality, so what could he do? No, this matter is definitely not that simple, and since that organization has come knocking this time, the person they are looking for must be me. It seems this matter is not as simple as I thought. You must handle it properly. At this moment, Zhang Ming had suddenly called over Panghu, Sakurako Kojima, and Jing Shang, even though Sakurako Kojima truly seemed like a useless vase. But ultimately, her family was very influential. Even if they couldn't completely stop the organization, they could gradually hinder their influence. Otherwise, there would always be such a situation. So, he was naturally the clearest about this in his heart. However, Zhang Ming was truly worried now, so he wanted to break away from the system and directly return to Konoha village to manage things there. But he knew that once he broke away from the system, what should he do next? Of course, we know this matter is not that simple, but it is also very distressing. Otherwise, why would it be like this? So, thinking about it, my heart also aches. Zhang Ming had suddenly said these words, and when that Jin Shang saw Zhang Ming so sad, he also felt sad with Zhang Ming. Even Sakura Kojima didn't know how to speak. She usually acted like a very cute loli, always following Zhang Ming no matter what, but she never expected such a thing to happen. I think you shouldn't worry yourselves here. Since Uzumaki Naruto had time to come to us and even worked for a month, he should be fine. So, don't worry so much. Besides, aren't you usually quite smart? Why are you stuck on this matter? Upon hearing these words, Zhongming naturally agreed deeply and felt that what Pang Hu said to him was also right. So he had already thought it through. Since Uzumaki Naruto truly had time, then it must be good. So at this moment, Zhongming didn't think much more. Early the next morning, he and Uzumaki Naruto intended to return to Konoha village together. But unexpectedly, the system suddenly spoke to Zhongming. Master, you cannot return under any circumstances. If you return, you will definitely be punished by the system. Since you have agreed to carry out this mission, not completing it will definitely result in severe punishment. Upon hearing this, Zhongming also felt that everything made sense. Besides, if he returned so rashly, it would mean he had not completed the mission, having confidently stated before that he could definitely do it, but then giving up halfway. What was that if not a breach of contract? At that point, even if he were punished, it would be well deserved. That would be well deserved, so at this moment, he didn't know what to do. If only he had sold all those lottery tickets earlier. If it weren't for long-term development here, he probably wouldn't have done such a thing. Then what do you say I should do? Clearly, Zhongming's tone of voice had changed, otherwise, he wouldn't be like this. At this moment, the system, still emotionless, simply looked at Zhongming and said to him. I have already said, Master, you absolutely cannot return to Konoha village before completing the mission. Zhongming believed it as soon as he heard this, because Zhongming felt that it was indeed so. So, even though he was very concerned at this moment, and hadn't anticipated it, he was still very pained, but he still didn't know what to do. Why are you starting to be so timid now? Didn't you tell me before? I, Uzumaki Naruto, am the boss of the ninja school in Konoha village. So many people follow me. Do you think I can't solve those problems? Why do you need to interfere? Upon hearing this, Zhongming indeed smiled freely, and then directly let Uzumaki Naruto return to Konoha village, also giving him some more money, which was money from Konoha village. So at this time, Zhongming was naturally very concerned. Anyway, he had already thought it through. After all, he had never expected so many things to happen. Alright, since you've already said so, I believe you are also a person of courage. Remember to go back and find Iruka-sensei. He and I chatted before. If they capture him, when I return, you'll see how I deal with you. After Zhongming finished speaking, he said no more. At this moment, Uzumaki Naruto had already left directly, and with the system's help, he quickly returned to Konoha village. Just then, Sakurako Kojima suddenly arrived here. I was wondering before why you were messing around with others and haven't returned for so long. Even the butler left without reason, and only sent a letter saying he would no longer be a butler. What exactly have you been doing outside? You are my sister. Zhongming was instantly surprised when he heard this. This Sakura Kojima actually had an older sister, and she had never told him. Zhongming was utterly astonished. How many more things had Sakura Kojima not told him? What was the deal with her sister? So, at this moment, he stood there, looking at the girl with a very strange gaze. Her face was already flushed, and she didn't know what to say to properly admit her mistake to Zhongming. I'm sorry, big brother Zhongming. I lied to you before. Actually, I have an older sister. I'm not an only child. At that time, I just thought you liked my status very much, so I only said that because I wanted you to take me to play. He was speechless the moment he heard her speak. This girl could really come up with anything, and she even thought he was like that. So, at this moment, he truly didn't know what to do. Anyway, he was already astonished. Furthermore, after this moment, he didn't know what to do. He just looked at the girl in front of him. And her sister looked very fierce, otherwise, she wouldn't have chased her all the way here and spoken such hateful words to him so brazenly. It's fine, it's just that you actually misunderstood that I coveted your family's wealth. But all of that is in the past. It just seems your sister isn't very friendly. She's probably here to urge you to go back. Now, Zhongming carefully sized up Sakurako Kojima and found that she was indeed quite cute, but compared to Sakura Kojima, she truly seemed like a shrew. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like this. So, at this moment, he naturally understood in his heart that other things didn't matter. The most important thing was that he understood everything with just one look. Sister, I've already told you, I'll only play here for a few days and then I'll go back. And why did the butler tell the family he was leaving? I don't know either. How would I know about such a thing? Sakura Kojima now had an innocent expression, and she wasn't even good at lying. For some reason, her pretty face always turned slightly red when she lied. Even though Zhang Ming saw everything, he just didn't speak. Then she gently walked up to him and tugged at his sleeve, hoping he wouldn't lie anymore. Sakura Kojima, don't think I don't know. Since childhood, whenever you lie, you always like to put your hands in your pockets. You were fine just now, and now you're doing it again. Do you think I don't know? The butler's departure must be related to you. Didn't you promise the butler he'd go back that night? Sakura Kojima now realized she had put her hands in her pockets again, so she immediately took them out and looked at her sister with a blank expression again. At this moment, this scene still looked very cute in Zhang Ming's eyes. At this moment, Sakurako Kojima instantly became unhappy when she saw Zhang Ming nearby. She walked directly up to the man, glared fiercely at Zhang Ming, and questioned him loudly. Let me tell you, my sister is naive, which is why she's easily deceived by people like you. I heard you're still selling lottery tickets, right? If you keep this up, be careful, I'll have my family smash all your stalls. Zhang Ming was naturally very speechless now. He really didn't expect to meet such a girl, but she truly seemed to have a sharp tongue but a soft heart, as she was still very good when facing her own sister. I didn't expect to meet such a spirited and strong-willed young lady like you today. It's quite something. It's just that your sister, she's also here partly because of me. Sakura Kojima was instantly astonished when she heard Zhang Ming taking so much responsibility for her. She knew that everyone in her family doted on her immensely. If he had only said it was partly her fault, let alone partly. Even if it was just a tiny bit, as long as it was linked to her or they stood together, they would be reluctant to scold her and would instead scold Zhang Ming. Now that Zhang Ming had actually admitted it, who knew what would happen? Sure enough, this was still the sister she knew. Alright, I knew you were this kind of person. One look and I could tell you weren't a good person, still using your lottery tickets to deceive people. Others say there's something to be won, but let me tell you, I don't believe it. Zhang Ming said this to her. And now, after hearing what the girl said to him, he felt even more speechless. However, it was indeed his responsibility that Sakura Kojima came out with him, so Zhang Ming naturally could not shirk his blame this time. He just didn't expect her to come to his door personally. The most important point was that this person would actually tell him that all these lottery tickets were scams. However, after Zhang Ming arrived here, many people had already said that lottery tickets were scams, so he naturally had experience now. As long as he could truly let her witness it, there would definitely be no problem. But Zhang Ming didn't want to use such a method now. The reason was simple. Since this person already had a prejudice against him, and because of Sakura Kojima, he absolutely could not use the same measures as with others. Just then, Sakura Kojima actually came out and admitted her mistake. Big brother Zhang Ming, please don't say anything more. And these things are originally my fault. Sister, don't blame him. It's really my fault. I pestered him to take me out, otherwise it wouldn't be like this. Now, Zhang Ming was very surprised to hear Sakura Kojima so actively and bravely stand up for him and say these words. Even Sakurako Kojima was very surprised. She truly didn't expect her sister to become like this, saying such things for a man. This made her so angry that she directly grabbed her sister's ear, but she never used force, as she still doted on this sister very much. She couldn't bear to be heavy-handed. Zhang Ming watched, startled, and then walked directly up to the woman and spoke to her. You came here to demand an explanation, right? If you're truly here to demand an explanation, then let's have a good talk today. As the eldest young lady of your family, didn't you also come out just like her? Wasn't it for leisure? Now, after Zhang Ming mentioned these things, he felt particularly unhappy in his heart. He hadn't expected to meet such a person, so he naturally still felt very uncomfortable. What are you? How dare you stand here and question this young lady? I'm telling you, if this were at my house, I could definitely have our vicious dogs bite you to death. Let's see if you can still keep talking here. Sakura Kojima now found her older sister and Zhang Ming at such a stalemate, and she naturally felt very distressed. So she wanted to go up and persuade them, but she realized she truly was a pitiful creature. She couldn't persuade them no matter what. At this point, Zhang Ming also didn't want to continue talking to this woman. So Zhang Ming directly comforted himself in his heart, thinking, a good man doesn't contend with a woman. How could he bother to argue with such a woman? Sakurako Kojima was naturally very angry as well. Who do you think you are? I'm telling you, don't talk to me here. Besides, what does my traveling or not have to do with you? I'm out to find my sister. Now, as soon as Sakura Kojima saw how fierce her older sister was, she naturally felt a bit distressed. Moreover, by this moment, her face was pale, and she didn't know what to do. But as soon as Sakurako Kojima noticed her sister's pale face, she immediately pulled her sister over for a good look. After confirming she was fine, she finally didn't blame Zhang Ming. If you dare to bully my sister in the future, I'm telling you, I can definitely drive you all the way back to Muya village from here, and then let the family dogs and those vicious servants bite you. Zhang Ming was very speechless now, so he stood there quietly by himself. Just then, the system suddenly spoke. Master, you cannot fight with someone like this. Moreover, we should focus on selling lottery tickets. Since he doesn't believe in lottery tickets, we should promote our lottery tickets to him. Only then can we make money. Zhang Ming was naturally very speechless now. He really hadn't expected to encounter such a person. But that was the reality, so he stopped talking. He just talked to the system here. And when the system saw Zhang Ming like this, it was naturally very speechless. I really don't know what to say to you right now. The most important point is, I believe you should also understand that he already has prejudices against us. Do you think we can still sell lottery tickets? You're truly wise in one moment and foolish in another, you idiot. Zhang Ming said this to him, and then cursed at the system. And this was Zhang Ming's opinion, he was truly too distressed. So at this moment, he decided that he should still take Sakurako Kojima away. Alright, you should stop pestering me like this. I don't want to say too much to you. Quickly take this woman away from me, or else use invisibility technique to make us leave this place together. And Sakura Kojima should go back after a while. Zhang Ming now felt that the system was simply omnipotent. Since it was bound, he naturally wanted it to serve him. Unexpectedly, the system suddenly spoke to Zhang Ming emotionlessly and very seriously. If you want invisibility technique, you must buy a lottery ticket and win. Moreover, S-rank invisibility technique in ninjutsu is not as simple as we think. So you must buy a lottery ticket now. Not buying a lottery ticket is not allowed. The system does not support master using the system to pick up girls. As soon as Zhang Ming heard this, he instantly became anxious. He truly hadn't expected to encounter such an obstinate system, especially since it had been so good to him before. As soon as this matter was mentioned, it instantly changed, and its tone had never been so serious. So at this moment, Zhang Ming was also very speechless and stopped talking. I say, big sister, have you argued enough? Can you please stop lecturing your sister here? Besides, your sister has always been so obedient and cute, and sensible. So, please don't be like this anymore. Zhang Ming had now said this. For him, he felt this matter was very important. Besides, these two people were chattering endlessly, how long were they going to keep talking there? The most important thing was, it was still Sakurako Kojima who kept talking about her sister's faults, not knowing how long she had been going on. Zhang Ming really couldn't listen anymore. He rubbed his ears and walked over. Unexpectedly, just as he walked over, Sakurako Kojima dared to walk directly in front of Zhang Ming and fiercely roared at him. What are you saying? Don't you tell me that if it weren't for you, my sister wouldn't have ended up like this. My sister used to be very good. But now, look, it's because she's been with you that she's learned to talk back to her older sister. As soon as Zhang Ming heard this, he was instantly speechless. He really hadn't expected it to develop like this. And he felt that this woman seemed truly unreasonable, otherwise, it wouldn't be like this. So at this moment, he naturally felt very distressed. Sister, I've told you, this time it's not his business. Come over quickly, sister. There are many delicious and fun things here. I'll take you to see them, and we can go back later together. Sakurako Kojima, of course, knew that selling lottery tickets was definitely a scam, so she was naturally very angry. When she saw her sister looking so innocent in front of her, she became even angrier, so she vented all her anger on Zhang Ming. Ming was thinking, this doesn't seem to be my fault, does it? How can I take the blame? But this woman was just so sharp-tongued, so Ming was also very speechless. He then glanced at this woman again. He had no good feelings for her anyway, and even doubted if these two were biological sisters. One was so gentle and cute, and the other was so fiery. You two are probably not biological sisters, are you? I also didn't expect it to be like this. Never mind, I won't talk about you two anymore. Oh right, today you only have two choices. Either come out and play with us, or you can go back. I will personally send your sister home later. Ming was still very speechless now, so he rolled his eyes at this person, not taking her seriously at all, and just spoke directly. Actually, these words were meant for Sakura Kojima to hear. As soon as Sakura Kojima heard about this, she immediately became happy. She had originally thought she had to go back this time, but unexpectedly, there was still room for maneuver. All right, brother, don't keep talking to this woman. You can tell from her appearance that she's a fiery woman, so let's not talk to her. Pang Hu went over and spoke to his brother at that moment. Ming had already realized that Sakurako Kojima was indeed a very formidable girl, now behaving so fiercely. And to think that she would scold him like this just to get her sister back, even claiming he abducted her sister. How could she do that? But Ming felt especially sad when he thought of this and ultimately said nothing more. He just followed Pang Hu. At this moment, Pang Hu seemed to have seen through Ming's thoughts at a glance, so he naturally kept it in mind. But Ming didn't say anything more, as he felt there was nothing he could do when encountering such a woman. Sister, what's wrong with you today? You weren't like this before. The most important thing is, seeing you like this now, I believe you should also understand what's going on with yourself. Ming was very concerned about this now. For him, he felt this matter was truly very important, but when he heard Sakura Kojima say these words, he felt a little remorseful. He originally truly wanted to use the invisibility technique to make all these people disappear, leaving this fiery woman here, but then he saw the deep sisterly bond between them. Ming found himself unable to speak again. So, from this moment on, Ming said nothing more, as he also knew what would happen next. By this point, Ming had already decided. Since the system was unwilling to help him, there was no need to continue. Moreover, he had only encountered a cute girl with a sharp tongue and a soft heart, it was no big deal to not argue with her here. Sister, what else do you want? I've already told you, this has nothing to do with them. It was me who wanted to come out and play, it was me. Sakura Kojima was trying her best to suppress her sobs, but in the end, she couldn't hold back and just burst into tears. As soon as Sakurako Kojima saw her crying, she instantly felt a pang of heartache. From childhood to adulthood, the only people who could make her sister cry, besides their family, were she herself. Sister, don't cry. I don't know why it's like this. I know I was wrong about this. How about this, we won't go back for now. I promise you, we won't go back for now. Besides, it's actually quite nice here. I feel pretty good after coming here. Ming naturally felt it was acceptable after hearing this. Since she had already said so, Ming said nothing more at this moment. Moreover, having met such a person, he felt everything was normal anyway, so he looked at her again and still felt it didn't matter. Of course, I know what you mean. You're just saying I'm too kind now, right? I'm telling you, my days of kindness are still ahead. But if you dare to provoke my sister, I can. When Ming heard this, he couldn't help but widen his eyes. What did she mean by, you are very kind? He was already surprised, then he touched his forehead with his hand, indicating he was speechless. How could he encounter such a woman? But looking back, it seemed quite normal. Forget it, there was nothing he could do. So Ming looked at this stubborn woman in front of him again. But in the end, there was truly nothing he could do but let this girl do whatever she wanted. It was just that her personality was too fiery. Uzumaki Naruto was fortunate to have already returned. If he hadn't, he would definitely have clashed with this girl. What can you do? I'd really like to hear how a young lady of means will deal with me. Sakura Kojima originally thought her sister's temper had subsided and she wasn't so angry anymore. Unexpectedly, Ming deliberately provoked her sister again, making Sakura Kojima particularly sad. She really hadn't expected her sister to travel all this way to lecture her, which was bad enough. Now Zhongming was also treating her sister this way, making the two of them seem lonely and helpless. She hadn't expected Sakurako Kojima to be someone who would never show weakness to him. What I can do, you'll find out later. You just wait. I'm telling you, you'd better pray that you never return to Konoha village in this lifetime, otherwise, you'll see how I gather my family to beat you to death. Sakura Kojima became extremely nervous as soon as she heard her sister wanted to beat Zhongming. She really hadn't expected her sister to be such a person, so she immediately became tense. Then she looked at Zhongming and finally said nothing more after finding everything was safe and sound. After all, Sakura Kojima had already realized at this moment. If she were to say anything more, it would likely escalate the conflict between them, so she could only lower her head. But then, she suddenly heard her stomach rumble. Sister, you've just arrived here, you probably don't know that there's a lot of delicious food here, do you? My stomach is hungry now. When we were little, we both loved eating together the most. Why don't we go now? Zhongming said this directly now. For him, he felt this matter was very important. But he looked at Sakurako Kojima and Sakura Kojima in front of him, and they really didn't look like sisters. One was so gentle, while the other was so fiery. At this, Sakura Kojima felt a bit embarrassed. She really hadn't expected her sister to come all this way and treat brother Zhongming like this. Alright, since my sister has already said so, I'll reluctantly eat something here with you. Zhongming saw how excessive she was, so he didn't plan to pay for her. Anyway, all these people had now arrived at another nice inn. Although he had been at that inn before, this one clearly seemed better. Guests, what would you like to eat? Sakura Kojima still loved eating sushi as much as she used to, so Zhongming already knew Sakura Kojima's taste and quickly ordered her favorite crab roast sushi and carrot sushi. What would you like to eat, sister? Just eat whatever. Sakura Kojima was a glutton, but it was clear that Sakurako Kojima was not that kind of person. She didn't seem to care much about food, possessing a masculine heroic spirit and a very bold demeanor. If she hadn't been so beautiful, she probably would have become a man. So, at this moment, Zhongming didn't pay much attention either. He just ordered something casually. The menu had already arrived, and many people were quite tempted by it, especially Zhongming, who also enjoyed eating. Bring us a grilled fish, and some sashimi. And sushi. That should be enough. Zhongming said directly, and he also ordered a famous caviar. Unexpectedly, Sakurako Kojima also ordered caviar. Both of them came from prominent families and had naturally eaten many things. The inn even claimed to have excellent foie gras, and asked if the guests would like to try it. Zhongming found this interesting and decided he definitely wanted to try it. Since you have these things here, I'll just make do. Sakurako Kojima still maintained the air of a young lady of means, but Sakura Kojima was completely different. At first, she was indeed, as Zhongming said, very much like a little rich woman. So, she spent whatever she had. It was only after leaving home that she realized how poor she was. Without her parents by her side, she truly had nothing. Although she still felt a bit sad, Sakurako Kojima still maintained the demeanor of a young lady of means. Zhongming saw it and felt it too. However, due to the precedent of Sakura Kojima, when Zhongming saw her acting like a young lady, he wasn't as surprised or disgusted as before. He just felt that she hadn't adapted to the local customs yet. At this moment, everything seemed calm, and the boss of the inn had already come out. Guests, I apologize. We were a bit neglectful, which is why they came to find me. I must explain today that we no longer have caviar. Upon hearing this, Sakurako Kojima instantly became unhappy. She slammed the table, stood up, and looked at the boss with piercing eyes, saying, "That's great. You actually don't have any left." Zhongming was instantly astonished. How could something like this happen? It was too strange to meet such a person. So, at this moment, Zhongming just stared at her. After all, he had never imagined what kind of thoughts this woman had, to say such a thing to him. But then he thought about it carefully, and it seemed everything was within expectation. I'm telling you, if there's no caviar, I wonder what you are. Perhaps some people have never eaten such high-class food in their lives. When Zhongming heard her say this, he rolled his eyes. He really didn't know where her sense of superiority came from. But then he thought about it, and it seemed perfectly normal. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said that to him. But at this moment, the system suddenly began to remind Zhang Ming. Master, you still have 10,000 lottery tickets that haven't been sold. Time is running out. Zhang Ming now felt that even eating something, he had to be lectured by this robot, so he was naturally very unhappy. This system was truly going too far. But then he thought about it, and it seemed everything was within expectation. After all, half the time had already passed. He seemed to have become a bit lazy, so the matters in the land of water naturally still needed to be dealt with. If it weren't for Sakurako Kojima's sudden arrival, he wouldn't have delayed so much time, but all of this seemed to be within expectation, so he naturally didn't think much about it, only very quickly. All the dishes they ordered, including sushi and sashimi, had already arrived. So, Zhang Ming was naturally very happy, but Sakura Kojima had already started eating directly. So, Zhang Ming was even more surprised. How hungry was she? Look, you're still like you were at home. Eat slowly, don't choke. There's so much good food at home, but you insist on running out everywhere. Who restricted your freedom? At this moment, Sakurako Kojima seemed determined to pin all the blame on Zhang Ming. So, she kept asking, insisting that her sister say. It was because this young man took her out that she was like this. But Sakura Kojima kept her head down, eating continuously, and after eating, she smiled and said to her sister. Sister, you eat too. Zhang Ming was speechless now. These two sisters were indeed quite cute. Ultimately, it was also because Zhang Ming found them very cute. So, he didn't say much more. Besides, at this moment, he naturally liked Sakura Kojima very much. With such a glutton by his side, he probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Moreover, Zhang Ming also enjoyed eating. But Sakurako Kojima's temper was just like that. And then, after they had all finished eating, a very awkward scene occurred. Come quickly and pay the bill. When Zhang Ming heard Sakurako Kojima say this, he thought she was going to treat them to a meal. But unexpectedly, she still had that sharp tongue, immediately gave Zhang Ming a glare, and said to him. You think I'm going to treat you to a meal? I'm telling you, it's never going to happen. At most, I'll pay for my sisters and my share. As for yours, figure it out yourself. Look how poor you are. Zhang Ming now felt a line of crows flying over his head. When did he, a reincarnator, become like this? So, at this moment, he didn't know what to do. But at this moment, Zhang Ming felt it was truly very interesting to meet such a girl. But the most awkward moment was when Sakurako Kojima searched and searched, only to find that all the money she had was from Konoha village, not the land of water. The boss seemed to have noticed, and immediately showed an unhappy expression. Miss, you only have this much money on you now. Why don't you figure it out yourselves? When Zhang Ming saw this scene, he just chuckled to himself. After all, he knew that the money from Konoha village would be useless here, and to them, it was nothing more than a piece of waste paper. So, at this moment, he found it quite amusing. The boss of the inn instantly became displeased. He hadn't expected this person to have no money, yet still come here to eat. But then he wondered if this entire group might be planning to dine and dash. So, he immediately turned to look at Zhang Ming. Without a word, Zhang Ming took out all the money for the meal from his person, except for Sakurako Kojima's. What exactly is wrong with you? Look, you have no money at all now. What was all that big talk about paying immediately? Sakurako Kojima was extremely embarrassed, her face flushed crimson, but she still couldn't produce the money for this place. Although she had traveled all the way here, it was ultimately because of the ninjutsu she had learned. That's how she managed to travel without paying for expenses, using her ninjutsu to reach the land of water to search for her younger sister. But now that she was here, she found that she had no money at all. She had said so much to her younger sister when she first found her, but now she realized she didn't have the money for this place. She carefully examined the money Zhang Ming had just taken out and realized she had never seen it before, so at this moment, she didn't know what to do. I say, you're not here to dine and dash, are you? Look at how much of a big shot you were acting like just now, and now you have nothing. Aren't you ashamed? Hurry up and pay. Sakura Kojima also had no money on her, so she could only look at Zhang Ming anxiously, but she was too embarrassed to ask Zhang Ming to pay. So at this moment, Sakurako Kojima didn't know what to do. Her face was flushed, and she was utterly embarrassed and ashamed, yet she still couldn't bring herself to ask Zhang Ming. At this moment, Ming also found it quite interesting, but he didn't know why. It seemed Ming wanted to tease her, so he deliberately smiled but still did not continue to pay for this woman. I'm asking if you have any money at all. If you don't, then hurry up and work for me here. I'm telling you, you can only leave after working for me for a full month. You ate quite a lot today. Luckily, we didn't have caviar. When Ming heard this, he secretly laughed on the side, but Sakura Kojima was almost in tears. She never thought her older sister would be bullied like this by others. So, Sakura stepped forward and spoke to the boss of the inn. No, 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 please don't do this. How about this? I'll work for you here, and you let my older sister go. My older sister has something very important to do. Sakura Kojima didn't know what to do now, so she quickly stepped forward. The boss of the inn next to them carefully observed them. They looked like real sisters, but this was strange. If they were real sisters, why wouldn't the younger sister pay for the older sister? All he wanted now was money, so the boss immediately said to Sakura Kojima. I saw your husband already paid just now, so why don't you let your husband pay for your older sister as well? At these words, Sakura Kojima's face instantly turned crimson, so red it almost seemed to be dripping blood. She never expected this boss to say such a thing. So, Sakura bit her lip tightly and glared at the boss. She truly hadn't expected to encounter such a person. However, Ming was also very surprised when he heard this. He never expected the boss of this inn to say such a thing. Then, he widened his eyes and looked at the boss in front of him. Is there something wrong with your eyes? How can you say she is my younger sister's husband? I'm telling you, even if my younger sister were blind, she wouldn't marry a brute like him, a scoundrel. Sakurako Kojima couldn't stand it anymore, so she blurted out this sentence. Unexpectedly, right after Sakurako Kojima finished speaking, the boss of the inn roared at her and began to curse. You still have the nerve to talk. Hurry up and pay. Don't make such a fuss here, and you know we're not a charity, don't you? Sakura Kojima didn't know what to do now and began to look at Ming with a face full of grievance. Ming found this scene very amusing, but he only wanted to see them in such a difficult situation. He wasn't really planning not to pay for them. It was just that the boss of the inn was being too overbearing, so Ming felt very unhappy when he saw his appearance, but he still didn't mention paying for them. Brother Ming, please pay for them. After all, they seem to be having a hard time now. But I must say, your temper, miss, is really terrible usually. Even Jing Shang said this from the side. Pang, who naturally felt a bit awkward when he saw this scene. Although the two of them had done many things for Ming had already given them money. However, this money had not yet reached their hands, so naturally, they couldn't pay for this young lady, especially since they didn't have much of a good impression of her in the first place. Ultimately, it was because she had been so overbearing when she first appeared and had said so many hateful things. Who could tolerate that? I really don't know what to say, but this matter is very important. How about this? You lend me some money first, and I'll pay for you. How does that sound? At this moment, Sakurako Kojima's face was already flushed. She knew that she no longer had the status of a young lady, nor did she have money. She had spoken so nicely about her younger sister just now, but after coming out, she still had no money. So, she naturally felt very distressed and awkwardly nodded. Ming, seeing her in such a difficult situation, no longer wanted to tease her. He quickly took out money and paid for everything she had eaten. All right, as long as you, miss, agree. By the way, here's the money, you should take it quickly. At this moment, Ming directly paid the boss of the inn. The boss, seeing the money, immediately turned and left. After Sakurako Kojima received help from Ming, she was naturally very grateful. After all, she felt that Ming had been good to her, especially since she had been so overbearing before. At home, no one ever told her she was overbearing. Only after coming out did she realize it, and now even her sister started saying it, which naturally made her understand. Although I know I was wrong about those things before, look at him, he's just a liar. Otherwise, how could he have tricked you into coming out? Now Ming and Pang, who had gone out to sell lottery tickets again, but Sakurako Kojima and Sakura Kojima were still together, talking. Sakura Kojima naturally understood, as she knew how important this matter was. Moreover, at this moment, she looked at her sister again and found that her sister was indeed a very good person, so she was naturally very happy. Sister, I know, I've always understood your thoughts. But just think, he's not a bad person at all. If he were a bad person, how could I be by his side? Sakura Kojima was still strongly defending Jiang Ming to her sister here. She was determined to clear Jiang Ming's name no matter what, because in her heart, she felt that Jiang Ming was not such a person, not at all. But when Sakurako Kojima heard this, she glared fiercely at her sister, but her eyes were full of doting affection. Then she gently tapped her sister's head and said to her, "Just like you, never leaving the house, pampered at home every day, how do you know who is good and who is bad? I think you now also." When Sakura Kojima heard this, she suddenly felt wrong. At this moment, when Sakurako Kojima saw her sister like this, she immediately stopped talking. After all, she knew clearly that she could endure anything in this life, but what she couldn't stand the most were her sister's tears. If she were to cry again, what should she do? But on second thought, this guy was actually pretty good. After all, he had directly helped her out of that embarrassing situation she had just experienced. If it were anyone else, how many people could have done that? All right, I know how important this matter is. I also know that you like your brother Jiang Ming very much. Now, whatever sister says is useless, right? When Sakura Kojima heard him say this, she suddenly felt happy, because she knew that if her sister said that, it meant her sister's mood had improved a lot. So she felt very happy and said nothing more. Just then, Sakura Kojima suddenly remembered that brother Jiang Ming had already gone out to sell lottery tickets. Since her sister said the lottery tickets were fake, she would take her sister to see for herself. Sister, didn't you say the lottery tickets were fake? Now I'll take sister out to see. Don't worry, they're definitely real. You'll know then. There are many magical treasures in there, ones you've never seen before. Sakura Kojima eagerly pulled her sister's hand and they arrived at the stall where Jiang Ming, Pang Hu, and Jing Shang were set up. In fact, Sakura Kojima felt that she was the most useless. Coming here, she could only introduce them to the local customs and traditions, but nothing else. And she could take them to some inns to eat. Other than that, she was truly terrible. So whenever she thought of this, Sakura felt useless, and today she really wanted to take her sister out to see if they could help them in any way. Aren't these the people who sold lottery tickets yesterday? They're still here today, that's great. Yes, I believe you all know it in your hearts, right? Oh, I saw them selling lottery tickets here before, and many people believed them, even that Wang Gongzi came over. It must be admitted that Jiang Ming was naturally happy when he saw the first customer that day, Wang Gongzi, selling lottery tickets here. So he didn't think much more, but he just didn't expect that this Wang Gongzi, who was less than a tenth of his own charm, would still have so many women admiring him. Especially now, these customers. So Jiang Ming naturally understood, especially when those people chattered about Wang Gongzi coming here to buy lottery tickets, and then a lot of women suddenly rushed over. However, as soon as these women saw Jiang Ming's appearance, their eyes immediately fell on him. They refused to leave and kept buying lottery tickets. Some were even more annoying, they would only buy 10 tickets at a time. Won't this young man hand us the lottery tickets? Now a woman, innocent, cute, and very infatuated, said this directly to Jing Shang next to her. Originally, Jing Shang was handing them the lottery tickets, but this person was clearly attracted to Jiang Ming's good looks. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said that, and she specifically requested Jiang Ming to hand her the lottery tickets. Jiang Ming immediately understood. It seemed that being handsome had its advantages everywhere. So at this moment, Jiang Ming was naturally very happy, but he never went up to hand out the lottery tickets. When Jing Shang found the situation awkward, she said to the young lady buying the lottery tickets, "It's like this, he's responsible for giving out the prizes to everyone. So, as long as you win a prize, he will definitely come over." As soon as this young lady heard there was such a good thing, she immediately bought 500 lottery tickets at once and started scratching and scratching with all her might. Finally, she won a prize, and Jiang Ming immediately went over without hesitation to hand her the prize. When he went over, the woman's gaze did not stay on the prize at all, but remained completely on Jiang Ming. "Thank you, young man. I knew you would give me the prize. This prize is really good." This person looked at the prize and didn't find anything particularly rare about it, but merely thought it was very beautiful because it was a magic wand. And just then, as she received the prize, Sakurako Kojima and Sakura Kojima arrived together. Oh, I forgot to teach you how to use it just now. This is the magical girl wand. As long as you say, in the name of the moon, I will punish you, you can become a beautiful girl. This woman was already coveting Zhang Ming's good looks, and felt a bit inferior in front of him, unworthy of such a handsome Zhang Ming. Upon hearing Zhang Ming say this to her, she was instantly surprised. She was also very happy, and then imagined how beautiful she would be after transforming into a beautiful girl, able to let Zhang Ming have a good look at her. So, the woman half-believingly took the wand and said, "In the name of the moon, I will punish you." The woman immediately flew up into the air, hovering there, and her attire was incredibly beautiful. Everyone around who was buying lottery tickets was stunned. It seemed that this lottery was truly attracting many more people. Sakura Kojima and Sakurako Kojima also came here. Sakurako Kojima originally didn't believe it, but when she saw this scene, she was surprised. If she remembered correctly, this should be the highest level ninjutsu. It was something even she couldn't break through, so she naturally felt a little tempted in her heart, but she always couldn't let go of her pride, just like the embarrassing incident that happened in the inn today. Sister, quickly look, I told you, I didn't lie to you. Actually, I also thought about buying lottery tickets before, but I only won once, and later I never bought them again because I ran out of money. Now Sakura Kojima directly pulled her sister to make her look. In fact, Sakurako Kojima had already seen it early on, so she deliberately pretended to be disdainful. She didn't even turn her head, and just watched her sister. At this moment, Zhang Ming could already tell that Sakurako Kojima was still a little tempted, otherwise, why would she be like this? After all, it was because of her sharp tongue and soft heart that she didn't believe these things. You are clearly a liar. I've already said it, your lottery tickets are always fake, and I will never believe them. You don't need to waste your breath here. Zhang Ming was very speechless now, because he felt this woman was a bit ridiculous. The most important point was, when did he need her approval? She actually said he was wasting his breath trying to make her believe. So, Zhang Ming didn't want to bother with her anymore. Anyway, he continued to sell lottery tickets here. Today, he had already sold another 3,000 tickets, with 7,000 more to go. He would complete the mission, so Zhang Ming was naturally very happy and didn't bother arguing with this woman anymore. Sakura Kojima, fearing Zhang Ming would be unhappy, quickly came over to explain to Zhang Ming. Brother Zhang Ming, please don't misunderstand. Actually, my sister didn't mean that. She just thinks you're too tired, so she doesn't want you to keep selling lottery tickets. Please don't misunderstand. Now, Zhang Ming naturally understood in his heart. After all, he never expected it to be like this, but all of this was already very important. Also, at a time like this, he felt that this person was indeed quite good. Alright, today, these lottery tickets are almost sold out. But since you don't believe in lottery tickets, it doesn't matter. I suddenly remembered that your sister had a few lottery tickets with me before, so I'll give them to you. Now, Zhang Ming directly handed out 5 lottery tickets from himself to Sakura Kojima and Sakurako Kojima. Sakura Kojima suddenly remembered that this was indeed the case. Earlier, the system suddenly said there was a problem with the lottery tickets, so it couldn't produce so many at once. However, Zhang Ming had accepted so much money, so he told Sakura Kojima then that he would definitely give them to her once the lottery tickets from the system were out. It was just a bit late, and he felt a little guilty giving them now. Great, thank you so much, brother Zhang Ming. I suddenly remembered these are the lottery tickets I bought before. Sakurako Kojima was still very unhappy when she heard this, so she disdained the lottery tickets. But she didn't expect her sister to actively hand a lottery ticket into her hand, and even look at her sister with a face full of joy. Sister, you must believe in this lottery ticket. Don't worry, brother Zhang Ming won't lie to you. It would be great if we could win, but it's okay if we don't. He definitely won't lie to you. Now, Sakura Kojima was full of happiness, and when Zhang Ming saw Sakura Kojima so happy, he was naturally beaming with joy. Luckily, he remembered. Otherwise, this would definitely be a violation of the system's rules, so Zhang Ming naturally still found it very interesting, but he never said much. I've already said it, I won't believe in this lottery ticket. I will never believe it, so no matter what, even if you talk until the sky falls, I won't believe that this lottery ticket can really win. Their winnings are just a deceptive trick. Now, Sakura Kojima knew that her sister had always been a very stubborn person. If she didn't realize it herself, then no matter how much others persuaded her, it would be useless. So, Sakura Kojima stopped talking, just looking at Zhongming with a little grievance. But she didn't do anything. When Zhongming saw Sakura Kojima so wrong, he felt a little sad in his heart, but he still didn't know how to comfort her. After all, they were sisters with deep affection, and if he said the wrong thing, he would be suspected of sowing discord. Pang, who naturally also saw this at this moment, but he was still very happy looking at his beloved girl, Jing Shang. Sister Jing Shang, you did really well today, and I know so many people came to buy lottery tickets. Oh, we still have to continue selling lottery tickets here tomorrow. Zhongming suddenly remembered, so he quickly said this to Jing Shang. Jing Shang was naturally very happy when she heard it. Since helping Zhongming do so many things, she naturally felt very happy in her heart. Sister, even if you don't believe it, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you will believe it later, just rest assured. Oh, let's go back now, all these things are already packed. Now, when Sakurako Kojima heard her sister say they were going back, her eyes immediately lit up, and she held her sister's hand and said to her sister, "Have you really decided to come home with me?" Chapter 91. As soon as Zhongming heard that Sakura Kojima and the others were going home, he instantly became nervous, so he looked at Sakura Kojima. "Are you two really decided on going back so soon? Didn't you say you'd stay here with me?" Unexpectedly, the moment Zhongming's words left his mouth, Sakurako Kojima instantly became displeased. Then she glared fiercely at Zhongming, undoubtedly hoping that he would shut up. At this point, he still wanted to abduct her younger sister, which was truly disgusting. So at this moment, she was completely angry, and Zhongming naturally felt it. The two of them were indeed quite terrifying, especially the older sister, who was still so fiercely glaring at him even now. So Zhongming didn't know what to do. He just hoped that the two of them wouldn't continue like this, but then he felt that all of this seemed very normal. So at this moment, he didn't think too much about the difficulties. Anyway, today he felt that all of this was very normal, and then he looked at Sakura Kojima. Unexpectedly, Sakura Kojima's face was already flushed with anxiety, and she didn't know how to explain. She quickly looked at her older sister and said repeatedly, Sister, you misunderstood me. I didn't mean that. I meant that everyone has already sold their lottery tickets, and we should pack up and go back to the inn. Tomorrow, we can go to other places to sell lottery tickets." Sakurako Kojima was originally very happy, thinking that her younger sister was going back with her. As a result, she became instantly displeased after hearing her younger sister say that, and then glared fiercely at her younger sister. This glare actually scared Sakura Kojima quite a bit. And Zhongming naturally felt it too, but what could he do? Anyway, at this time, Zhongming also felt that her older sister was too brutal. However, he also thought it was normal. Later, Zhongming started going to other places to sell lottery tickets again. One must know that there were still 7,000 lottery tickets that hadn't been sold, so Zhongming was naturally very anxious. But this system task was truly difficult. After all, Zhongming already felt that he had to go to other places to promote, and couldn't always stay in one place. If he kept staying in one place, others would definitely criticize him. Of course, those who came to buy lottery tickets, some bought 100 or 200 tickets and didn't win, so they naturally thought he was a swindler, but others did win prizes. "What did you say? How could you say such a thing? You're too much. Didn't you promise me today that you'd go home with me? What home were you talking about just now? Is that our home? Can you pay attention next time you speak?" Pang, who had also heard this sentence now, but he didn't know what to do. After all, this person had already come to find him. Just then, Zhongming suddenly thought of another scheme, because Zhongming knew this person has always cared a lot about his younger sister, so he naturally understood her current thoughts and feelings, but understanding doesn't necessarily mean it's okay. So at this moment, although Zhongming was still a little worried, he directly began to speak to her. "I know you don't like me very much and don't believe in the lottery tickets I sell, but after spending so much time together, do I seem like a bad person? Do I seem like someone who would abduct your sister?" Sakurako Kojima was naturally very unhappy now. For her, she felt that this matter was very serious. Besides, she felt that the man in front of her was clearly not a good person. Anyway, she had already made up her mind that anyone who abducted her younger sister was not a good person, so she directly told him. You're not a good person, let me tell you. Don't think I don't know. Although you pretended to be a good person and treated us very well during these days, I still think my younger sister is safest when she's with me back home. Zhang Ming was naturally very concerned, as he had never expected it to turn out like this, but he still couldn't change this person's mind. After all, he never thought it would be like this, but what could he do? Anyway, the facts were already laid out in front of him, so Zhang Ming didn't say anything more. The rest didn't matter. I naturally understand what you're saying. After all, I never thought you'd think that way. But now that we're already here, let's make the best of it. Pang Hu had also started to persuade from the side, because Pang Hu felt that Zhang Ming had already done his utmost, and he himself had a bad temper. How could he continue to talk to such a woman? So at this moment, he instantly got angry. Jing Shang on the side was naturally still a little sad. After all, she didn't expect how this person could be like this. Sakura Kojima also felt it at this moment. She had already done well enough, so why was her older sister still like this? Was it just because she said the wrong thing? It made her older sister a little disappointed. Sister, I know I did wrong in this matter, but you also need to know how important these things are. The rest doesn't matter, the most important thing is that we need to seriously consider it now. Sakura Kojima began to earnestly persuade her older sister now. Although she knew her older sister wouldn't listen, her older sister had always doted on her since childhood, and she always listened to some of the things she said. It was only then that Sakurako Kojima calmed her inner anger. She didn't say anything more, and then gloomily followed everyone back to the inn. At this inn, Sakurako Kojima actually had no money. So, although she was still very sad, she was experiencing for the first time what it felt like to leave home and no longer be a rich young lady, and it was truly this unhappy. It's okay, I believe you understand. Besides, as long as we all understand now, it's fine. Oh, brother Zhongming, please pay for my older sister. Sakura Kojima was naturally very sad now, so she could only say that to him. Am I the type of person who haggles over every little thing? Since this very beautiful and lovely rich lady has already spoken, do you think I cannot do so? At this moment, Zhang Ming naturally knew in his heart that these matters were very important to him, other things were secondary. The most important thing was that he had understood that if he could really do it, then it would be good. That's great, older sister. As long as big brother Zhang Ming agrees, it's the best. Besides, big brother Zhang Ming actually gave us a few lottery tickets today. When Sakurako Kojima heard this, she still didn't want to talk to her idiotic younger sister. She usually doted on her, but she didn't expect that after meeting this man, Sakura would turn her elbow outwards like this. So she was naturally very unhappy, but she still didn't say much, and she glanced again, feeling that this matter was very important. If it could really be done, then so be it. The most important thing was that she felt her younger sister was too foolish, easily deceived by a few words from others. All right, older sister, don't be sad anymore. Look, big brother Zhang Ming even specially ordered caviar for us today. We didn't have it yesterday, but it's here today. Look. Zhang Ming, on the other hand, appeared very calm. Seeing Sakura Kojima being so good to her older sister, he naturally felt very happy at this moment, but he didn't say much. After all, he felt this matter was very important to him, so at this moment, he was still clear in his heart and began to look at her older sister, as he felt it was quite good. All right, it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, all of that is in the past. Besides, I don't think there's any need for everyone to be so unpleasant now. Now Jing Shang had also come out to speak. Zhang Ming, for the sake of Jing Shang and Sakura Kojima, didn't bother arguing with such an unyielding and unreasonable woman. So, at this moment, he continued to order here. That caviar was for everyone to eat, and there was also French foie gras. These people were naturally very happy. Other things were secondary, the most important thing was that Zhang Ming genuinely found it delicious. I heard that the caviar in this inn seems to be the best in the land of water, especially in this city, so I naturally feel very happy. As Zhang Ming ate the caviar, he spoke to everyone. At this time, Sakura Kojima showed great ladylike demeanor. After all, she came from a prominent family, and her older sister beside her naturally did too. So when the two of them ate, they didn't speak, but Zhongming was different, so at this moment, he only felt it was very amusing. But he didn't say anything more. Just then, they had already begun to plan where they should go to sell lottery tickets the next day. After all, they couldn't sell them in a very familiar place, they could only go to other places. Zhongming originally wanted to complete the mission by selling lottery tickets in other places, but then the system suddenly told Zhongming that he could go to the same place the next day, so Zhongming was naturally very happy. Are you telling the truth? Is your system broken? When the system heard Zhongming say this, it suddenly remembered how others often cursed people by saying their brains were broken, so the system. Naturally, it protested strongly, not expecting such a thing to happen. So at this moment, it was naturally a bit unhappy, and it glared fiercely at Zhongming and said to Zhongming, "Can you pay attention? What do you mean my system has a problem? Besides, it's already developed to this point, do you think I would still lie to you?" When Zhongming heard this, he naturally cared very much. He felt that the system had indeed never gone wrong, so what it said must be true. Since that was the case, there was no harm in doing it. The next day, he could go to the same place. Besides, he had already accumulated such a large number of customers. Zhongming was very happy now. Moreover, as long as he had this lottery system, he could make money anywhere. Anyway, he was truly very happy now, and he remembered those who had bought 100 or 200 lottery tickets without winning, so he specifically reminded the system. Hey, you, the system, should be the clearest about how to do it. The most important point is that I need to remind you now. As soon as the system heard Zhongming say this, it suddenly deliberately started making the sound of sleeping. Zhongming became unhappy as soon as he heard it. Then he gave it a hard knock on the head, and unexpectedly, the system immediately sobered up and scolded Zhongming. Is that how you act as a master? You can abuse your own assets like this. If you dare to abuse your money like that, then I'll be impressed. When Zhongming heard this, he found it very amusing, so he opened his mouth, just about to say something, but was suddenly interrupted by the system again. So the system, with a hint of threat and a joking tone, said to Zhongming, "I am your asset to begin with, and you treat me like this. However, it doesn't matter, after all, you have so much money, all of it in the system. If my system really breaks, you won't get a single penny." When Zhongming heard this, he also felt that it was indeed the case, so at this moment, he was naturally very excited. After all, he felt that what the system said to him was really quite funny, but he didn't say anything more. Yes, everything you say is right. But today you've already decided. By the way, I will still go to the original place to sell lottery tickets tomorrow. At that time, I hope I can complete the mission as soon as possible. I won't be as foolish as before. Zhongming had previously told people that he only sold 1,000 lottery tickets a day to attract customers, and now he realized he had done something foolish. Alright, I'm full now. You should eat slower, don't choke. You were like this at home, and now you're still like this outside, it's truly embarrassing. Sakura Kojima was wolfing down the caviar and foie gras as if she had never eaten them before, yet she had eaten plenty at home. Just then, Sakurako Kojima suddenly realized something, then had an epiphany, and began to stand up and question her sister. I've told you many times, going home is the best. Look how hungry you are now. Is it because you've never eaten these things outside before, that's why you're like this? There's plenty at home. Sakura Kojima immediately stood up to explain to her sister, with remnants of the caviar she had just eaten still on the corner of her mouth. So at this moment, when Sakurako Kojima saw her sister like this, she found it both infuriating and laughable, but she didn't know what to say, only feeling that her sister was truly foolish to an extreme. How could she come out with such a young man? Yet, she had to admit that the young man did pay for her meal and let her stay here. But in her opinion, he had abducted her sister, so treating her this way was only natural. I believe you understand as well. We don't like to keep idlers here. It's just that we think he can introduce us to the local customs, and you, coming here, are considered an uninvited guest. When Zhongming heard Pang Hu speak to Sakurako Kojima like that, he naturally felt a bit unhappy, but he didn't say anything to prove it. Zhongming actually tacitly agreed to this matter, but he still didn't speak, and he didn't want to cause them too much trouble. After all, doing so might not be good, so Jing Shang spoke up. Can you not treat him like that? Although his words are a bit unpleasant, ultimately, he's just concerned about his sister. What you said is too much. When Peng Hu saw Jing Shang lecturing him, he immediately shut his mouth. Zhang Ming had also noticed, so at this moment, Zhang Ming didn't say a word and immediately went to settle all the meal expenses. Also, he settled the accommodation fee for staying there for one night, so at this moment, Zhang Ming was naturally very happy. All right, big sister, let's sleep together tonight. That way, brother Zhang Ming can spend less. Tomorrow, we'll still go with them to sell lottery tickets. Of course, you don't have to believe it, but please don't cause trouble. Zhang Ming was naturally very concerned at this moment, and after hearing what Jing Shang and the others said, he was naturally very concerned, and he felt that Sakura Kojima had always had a good relationship with her sister. Otherwise, she wouldn't be like this. So, in order not to make Sakura Kojima difficult, Zhang Ming naturally did nothing but quietly tell them. Even if you don't believe it, it doesn't matter, but don't cause trouble tomorrow, after all, I'm also completing a mission. Sakura Kojima did not refute Zhang Ming. As long as he said that, it counted as an agreement, so at this moment, he didn't think too much about the difficulty. In the evening, Sakura Kojima and Sakurako Kojima slept together. Anyway, both of them were naturally very concerned. Master, you must be careful when selling lottery tickets tomorrow, and you must carefully look at the prizes drawn. Besides, these customers will have a luck mentality, but our probability is like this. Zhang Ming had actually noticed that some people bought 100 or 200 tickets and still didn't win. They must be very worried and angry. And some people had never won a prize, so they naturally felt very sad and suspected that Zhang Ming was a liar. So at this moment, Zhang Ming was naturally very concerned, so he discussed it with the system here. Although I know that after we both make money, it's a 50-50 split, I believe you should be clear that if we continue with such a probability, it will definitely attract suspicion from many people, which will then be detrimental to our development. Anyway, you should be clear, so I don't need to say more. When the system heard this, it instantly became unhappy and began to speak to Zhang Ming in a very serious tone. Master, I have already decided, this probability absolutely cannot be lowered. If it is lowered, then we will earn very little. In that case, what do you think should be done? So, just do it like this now. When Zhang Ming heard this, he suddenly felt that he, as the master, had no sovereignty at all. He had to listen to this broken system for everything, which was truly too much. But for some reason, the system seemed to have discovered Zhang Ming's thoughts, so it quickly changed its tone and spoke to Zhang Ming. All right, then as the system, I will listen to Master this one time. Master, how much do you want to adjust the probability to? When Zhang Ming heard this, he suddenly became very concerned, as he really didn't expect it to be like this. So, at this moment, he said, how about adjusting the probability to 1/300th? But he didn't expect the system. When Kakuzu heard this, he was naturally very concerned, as he really didn't expect it to be like this, but the system had already started to discuss with Zhang Ming. Now, after their discussion, they finally decided to adjust the probability to 1/350th, so at this moment, he was naturally very concerned. Early the next morning, Zhang Ming, Peng Hu, and Jing Shang all went out to sell lottery tickets. Unexpectedly, when these few people had only sold 100 or 200 lottery tickets. Suddenly, there was a loud bang. It turned out that Jing Shang was kicked directly by someone while selling lottery tickets. At this moment, Peng Hu quickly went to check. Zhang Ming also didn't expect it, so he directly stepped forward to see who the newcomer was. He didn't expect the person who came to be a strange face. Speak, are you selling lottery tickets here? I knew it must be you people here swindling and trying to trick us out of our money. Do you think our money is that easy to trick? When Zhang Ming saw this scene, he naturally knew who was behind the troublemaking strong man. In fact, he had already noticed that this person had come twice yesterday, and each time he bought 100 or 200 lottery tickets, but he never won. It was his own bad luck. What did it have to do with him? So, at this moment, Zhang Ming knew that he had just arrived here and was not doing well at all. Therefore, when he spoke to him, he naturally felt a bit strained, but he didn't know what to do. He just felt that these people were now very clear. Being unreasonable was precisely because of this matter, which made them start to worry. We have rules here, and just now you kicked this woman without distinguishing right from wrong. I think you should come over and apologize. As soon as Zhang Ming saw Jing Shang being kicked by someone, he was naturally very angry, so he quickly went up to question the strong man. Unexpectedly, the strong man saw that Zhang Ming was such a small person. He instantly regained his spirit, wanting to hit Zhang Ming hard. In fact, Zhang Ming had already felt that these people hadn't won the lottery for several days, and some hadn't won a single prize from the beginning. Why weren't others angry? Why was it only this one person who came to cause trouble? So Zhang Ming naturally felt that there must be something fishy going on, otherwise how could it be like this? So, at this moment, he looked at him. Why did you do this? And who is he to you? Why is it that he didn't win, but you came to cause trouble? You must give me a reasonable explanation today. Now this strong man actually called himself Murakami's driver. At this moment, Zhang Ming suddenly remembered, wasn't there a Murakami young master before? So he was actually starting to worry now. Who exactly was this person? Why did he come here? So now Zhang Ming began to think in his heart, but he didn't know what to do, so he just looked at these people. Moreover, the person who hadn't won the lottery now seemed timid and didn't dare to come out and question Zhang Ming. It was obvious that he had a guilty conscience, so Zhang Ming saw all of this. But he never said anything, merely wanting to see what else they would do. If it was truly related to that Murakami young master, then he should take a look. Alright, since you say you're not a liar, what proof do you have? Why can everyone else win, but he can't? Those who won probably were arranged by you long ago, right? Now, some of the people who hadn't won the lottery immediately became suspicious after hearing this. So, these people stopped buying lottery tickets and just stood there looking at Zhang Ming. And because of the commotion, some timid people. But those who wanted to come and buy lottery tickets all stopped what they were doing and were unwilling to take out money, just watching. So, at this moment, Zhang Ming naturally felt the atmosphere was very awkward, and this person was quite clever. He knew to choose this moment to cause trouble, so at this moment, Zhang Ming naturally began to worry, but Jing Shang next to him was also very troubled. She had just been kicked. Her body still hurt now. At this moment, Zhang Ming had no mind to bother with whether the lottery was real or fake or whether others would suspect it. Instead, he wanted to see if this person would apologize. You shouldn't have come here directly without distinguishing right from wrong. You shouldn't have kicked this person. So now I want you to apologize. No matter what, you were wrong in these matters. Now Zhang Ming stood directly here, speaking righteously to the person who came to cause trouble, and this person called Murakami's driver naturally began to worry. But he didn't know what to do, so at this moment, he looked at Zhang Ming, but Zhang Ming still didn't want to leave, so at this moment, Zhang Ming began to think about what to do. I can't believe such things happen even in this kind of affectionate world. I want everyone to see how formidable you are. If you want to fight, then go ahead. And you said he's a liar, what gives you the right to say that? Now Sakurako Kojima actually said such words, and even Sakura Kojima was very surprised. After all, Sakura Kojima never thought her older sister would be a very good person. The most important point was that she didn't think her older sister, after disbelieving something, would go back to believing it again. So at this moment, Zhang Ming was also very surprised, and he just looked at Sakurako Kojima. Zhang Ming had just been about to speak, but unexpectedly, Sakurako Kojima had already spoken first, so they were all very surprised. Does this even need to be said? We came here and bought so many lottery tickets, but we didn't win. Can't this be considered proof? You are now just quibbling here, so everyone, come and take a look quickly. Now everyone had stopped what they were doing. Zhang Ming had already discovered that he never expected it to turn out like this. But the fact was so at this moment, he had already started looking at them. Other things aside, he just felt that these people were too excessive, so Zhang Ming decided to come out and explain to everyone. Besides, he had already made the rules very clear from the beginning. I had already come out and made things very clear from the beginning, so I hope you all understand. Besides, things have already developed to this point. If it were possible, then it would be fine. Now Zhang Ming came over directly. For him, he felt this matter was very important. Anyway, other things didn't matter, and his current idea was like this. If he could talk to them well, then it would still be a happy thing. Then he directly said this to them, and when this person saw such a thing, he was also very concerned in his heart, but now more and more people were standing here, pointing fingers at Zhang Ming. Zhang Ming had already started to arouse suspicion from others before. Unexpectedly, now with this person coming to cause trouble, it gave those who hadn't won the lottery even more psychological comfort, so this was the most desired thing, to get an explanation from Zhang Ming. Everyone deliberately bought lottery tickets knowing the rules. Zhang Ming didn't know how to explain himself at the moment, so he just said those words to everyone. Just then, the others started shouting and demanding that Zhang Ming refund the money for the lottery tickets. Hurry up and return the money. We don't care, after all, you're the one who made the mistake. You're clearly a swindler. I've bought 300 lottery tickets here and still haven't won. Why is that? Zhang Ming was speechless. If these people were to buy lottery tickets in his world, they probably wouldn't win even if they bought 20,000 tickets. He didn't expect them to be so dissatisfied now, so Zhang Ming was naturally very unhappy. Facing the person who came to cause trouble, he was naturally very angry. Then he just started looking at them. The other things didn't matter, the most important thing was that Zhang Ming had to explain clearly to everyone now. At the beginning, everyone should have been very clear about what they should do. The most important point is that you all know the rules. Where are the people who won the lottery now? Come out and say something. Now Zhang Ming had begun to ask, and many people who had won the lottery appeared, including the Murakami young master, the first customer Zhang Ming met when he first came here. Many people had already appeared who cared deeply about this young master, so at this moment, these people immediately came forward. Especially some women, who looked even happier. After all, these women cared deeply about Zhang Ming, and seeing how handsome Zhang Ming was, they must have been eager to make a move. I believe you should be clear in your heart about what you should do next. The other things don't matter, the most important point is, why do you have the right to come over and say I cheated you? Now Zhang Ming was very angry. After all, the rules were set. If this person didn't win, it was his bad luck. Could he still blame himself? What about the other people who won? And this person who came to cause trouble was clearly not a good character, so the Zetsu was naturally very angry, never having expected to encounter such a person. I'm telling you, the evidence is conclusive now, you're a swindler. Be careful, I'll have someone come and arrest you directly. You'd better watch out for yourself. Zhang Ming was also very speechless now, he didn't expect to meet such a person, but what could be done? The facts were already before his eyes. So at this moment, he didn't want to say anything more to him, he just felt that this person was too much, but he still didn't know what was good. He just felt that this person's attitude towards him now was not good at all, so he just looked at the person in front of him. The person next to him who hadn't won the lottery was still the same as before. He was very guilty, and it seemed like he was forced by this strong man, so Zhang Ming was naturally very unhappy at this time, but he didn't make things difficult for the person who didn't win the lottery. That person hadn't won the lottery and had spent so much, he was already very upset, so he naturally wouldn't kick him when he was down, only targeting the strong man. Then why are you the one who's been talking all this time, and you're the one who says I'm a swindler? The person who didn't win the lottery hasn't said anything at all. Why do you have the right to do this? Zhang Ming was very clear in his heart now, because he knew that if he fought with him at this time, it would almost be equivalent to him being a real swindler. That's why he would fight with others. If it got out through those with ulterior motives, they would definitely say that he was exposed. So, out of shame and anger, he would fight with others. If he defeated this person, he didn't know what kind of mess it would become. For long-term development, Zhang Ming decided to be patient and talk to him properly. If it really couldn't be resolved, if he had to fight, then he would say so. So this time, Zhang Ming didn't show any fear at all. As a result, the person selling lottery tickets next to him immediately started defending Zhang Ming. Yes, these are the rules. I just didn't win. Just then, when the strong man next to him heard the person who hadn't won the lottery say that, he immediately lost his temper, then glared at him with wide eyes, insisting that he repeat what he said. And that person was frightened at the time, not knowing what to do, so he could only lower his head slightly, but the people around heard these words very clearly. So these people immediately started helping Zhang Ming. The most important point was that Zhang Ming had already started comforting those who hadn't won the lottery and telling them. He already said it very clearly just now, why are you doing this? The other things don't matter, the most important thing is that I believe everyone should also be clear that the person who didn't win the lottery has already followed the rules. Yeah, what are you doing here? You're just a troublemaker. I think you're here to cause trouble, aren't you? Don't interfere with me buying lottery tickets by causing a scene here. Now these people had already started to boil over, and had begun to speak these words. At this moment, Zhang Ming's heart was naturally clear. As long as they said that, it was a good thing. So now, finally, someone was standing up for justice and fairness for him. So he was naturally very happy in his heart. The other things didn't matter, the most important thing was that these people were really too much, actually being able to say such things. But the person who came to cause trouble in front of him was also very unhappy now. After all, he had already seen that all these people had sided with Zhang Ming. So he was very angry and went straight up, wanting to hit Zhang Ming, but he didn't expect that before his punch even reached Zhang Ming, his hand was already unable to move. Just then, Zhang Ming looked at him seriously and said, "It's already been agreed that these are the rules, but today you insist on coming here to cause trouble and make a mess like this. Are you satisfied? I'm telling you, my lottery tickets will absolutely not be fraudulent." Now Zhang Ming said to this person righteously, and he really wanted to know if it was related to the Murakami young master he offended last time, otherwise, why would this person have come? "Alright, you brat, you just wait. I'm telling you, I won't let you off." Zhang Ming found it quite interesting to listen to him speak, so at this point, the lottery tickets had already sold out, he had only brought 2,000 tickets today. Therefore, there were still 5,000 tickets unsold. At this moment, Zhang Ming directly stopped this person and looked at him, intending to have a good talk with him, as he had never expected to encounter such a person. He just came out and said this to him without cause. Besides, the person who didn't win the lottery just now was clearly threatened. If he didn't teach him a good lesson, the person who bought the lottery tickets might be in trouble. You've already offended people, and now you still have the audacity to act like this. I don't think you'll live much longer. Just you wait, kid. When Zhang Ming heard these words, he instantly understood, as he had never expected things to develop this way, but what could he do? Moreover, Sakura Kojima, who was beside him, also looked troubled. She really hadn't expected such a troublemaker to appear halfway. And as he was leaving, he even threatened Zhang Ming. Unexpectedly, Zhang Ming directly stopped this person. After all, the lottery tickets had already sold out, and everyone here had left, so Zhang Ming felt he should have time to get a clear understanding. You said I offended someone, so I'd like to know who else I offended besides you. Was it that Murakami young master, the one with the folding fan, whom I met last time? Zhang Ming said this directly. Unexpectedly, when this Murakami heard Zhang Ming say this, he instantly became angry. He really hadn't expected this kid to still remember. So at this moment, he sneered and looked at Zhang Ming angrily, and said to Zhang Ming, "It seems you kids still have some self-awareness. It's good that you know. I'm telling you, he is a big shot you can't afford to offend. Do you think you can live well here? In a few days, no inn here will dare to take you in." At this moment, Zhang Ming was naturally very angry in his heart, as he felt that what he did last time was simply because that Murakami young master was too excessive. But fortunately, he helped Sakura Kojima drive away that butler, yet at a time like this, such a person appeared again, so Zhang Ming was naturally indignant. How dare such a person appear before him and say such things? So at this moment, Zhang Ming looked at this Murakami in front of him, as he really felt it was too much. And Sakura Kojima naturally also sensed that this matter was not so simple. So you mean that this matter today is not so simple, and you won't let us go so quickly? Alright then, let's settle a score. You mean that today's lottery tickets have nothing to do with you coming to find me, right? When this strong man heard Zhang Ming say this, he nodded heavily and glared fiercely at Zhang Ming. Even if it has no relation, so what? I'm telling you, you kid offended someone, and you just offended them. You should just wait here obediently. Of course, even if you escape to the ends of the earth, Murakami young master will definitely find you. When Zhang Ming heard this, he instantly understood that this person wanted to come and cause trouble for him. Perhaps there were many hidden things behind it, so at this moment, Zhang Ming was naturally very angry. After all, he had never expected it to be like this, but the fact was so. So this time, Zhang Ming looked at him seriously. When did I say I was running? You just need to answer my question. What you meant just now was that your coming to find me today actually has nothing to do with the lottery ticket scam, right? At this point, he was already very angry, so he told Zhang Ming impulsively. You kid don't understand human language, do you? If it had anything to do with it, would I have come to find you like this today? I'm telling you, this matter is not that simple. If you kid lose, then it's best to obediently go to the Murakami family and admit your mistake. Zhang Ming found it very ridiculous when he heard this, so he glanced at him, then slightly curved a smile at the corner of his mouth, and instantly changed his expression. This face was so gloomy that water could drip from it. At this moment, Zhang Ming directly grabbed the strong man fiercely. The strong man was also startled. He really hadn't expected such a small-bodied young man to be able to grab him and pull him back, so at this moment, he naturally understood in his heart. He really hadn't expected it to be like this. What exactly is it? Zhang Ming was already very angry, as things had developed to this point, so at this moment, he glared fiercely at the person in front of him. No matter what, he had to make him give an explanation, otherwise he would never let him leave so quickly today. After all, Zhang Ming was originally a person with a temper, so at this moment, he was naturally very angry, and quickly said to the person in front of him. Tell me quickly, if you don't make it clear today, and you also want to leave at the same time, and also, you kicked someone indiscriminately today, apologize to me immediately. If you don't apologize, I can make it so you can't leave here. At this moment, Zhang Ming was completely angry, as he felt that Jing Shang was truly very innocent, she was just helping him sell lottery tickets there. Such things could even be attracted, so he was very angry in his heart. He had never expected it to be like this, but the fact was so. Alright, I'm telling you, this sister-in-law can slowly be proud today. I'll let you be proud for a while. Later, you'll know what it means to be better off dead. I'm sorry. Now that Jing Shang had received this apology, she naturally didn't pursue it, but Zhang Ming was very unhappy. However, thinking back, should he forgive when possible? He felt there was no need to keep dwelling on this matter. Besides, this Murakami young master must be a very large family. Unexpectedly, Sakura Kojima was very scared when she heard the term Murakami young master. At this moment, Zhang Ming began to ask her what was going on. Alright, this matter is settled today. Let's go back. Why do you look so bad? Is there something wrong with the Murakami family? Actually, there's something I've never told you. Murakami young master and our family have an unknown past. Sakura Kojima was now discovering more things and was extremely nervous, simply because she had never expected such a person to appear in Zhang Ming's corner. The most important point was that the man who had formed an indissoluble bond with her was naturally Murakami young master, so she had always been a bit worried. While explaining here during the day, it seemed Zhang Ming had also realized this at this moment. Actually, you should be clear in your heart. I don't need to say much else. The most important thing is for you to handle it yourself now. Zhang Ming directly said this to the person who came to cause trouble. This person was naturally very angry and originally wanted to say a few more harsh words, but unexpectedly, Zhang Ming's glare instantly scared him away, and he immediately left. He no longer dared to say another word. When Zhang Ming saw this scene, he naturally didn't overthink anything. The most important thing was that he felt this matter was very important. Then he looked at Sakurako Kojima next to him, but unexpectedly, Sakurako Kojima still didn't look at Zhang Ming much. She just thought this matter was really strange, but soon Sakura Kojima was happily scratching off a prize here, as if what had just happened hadn't occurred. Great, I won a prize. What prize did I win, brother Zhang Ming? Zhang Ming understood at a glance now, as he was still clear in his heart. Moreover, at this moment, he was naturally very excited and quickly and generously took out the prize. This prize was naturally a magic wand. When Sakura Kojima saw the magic wand, she was especially happy, so she quickly began to ask Zhang Ming how to use it. It's very simple. You just need to chant a spell, Balala energy, and then you can turn into a magical fairy. Sakura Kojima was naturally a little skeptical now, but she believed everything Zhang Ming said. So, at this moment, she took out the magic wand and immediately transformed happily. Sakurako Kojima, who was nearby, naturally saw everything, but she was still very unhappy. Anyway, for her, she felt that all of this was very important. The most crucial point was that she knew how this matter should be handled best, but she didn't think too much about it. Moreover, at this moment, Sakurako Kojima also had a little doubt in her heart, thinking that maybe this was real. Anyway, She still had 2 lottery tickets in her hand, and she didn't know what to do. Sister, did you see? I won a prize. I won a prize. And this magic wand is really good. After I chanted the spell just now, I immediately turned into a magical fairy. Do you think I look good? Sakura Kojima was indeed very beautiful after transforming now, so Zhongming naturally felt very happy in his heart, but he didn't say anything more. He just felt that Sakurako Kojima still didn't believe it, but a thought suddenly arose in his mind that he must make her believe. What's the big deal? It's just some little tricks to fool people. Otherwise, how could it be like this? I think only a silly girl like you would be deceived. I'm too lazy to bother with you. Zhongming saw all of this and didn't say much, but Peng Hu and Jing Shang, who were nearby, became very unhappy when they saw this scene. It's truly thankless. This person is too much. But even though they thought so, they didn't do anything. After all, at this moment, they weren't sure what to do. They just felt that continuing like this was also a good thing, and then they didn't think much more. But unexpectedly, Zhongming was still staying in this inn alone. Just then, the system suddenly spoke to Zhongming. Master, I really didn't expect that it would take so long to make this woman believe that the lottery is real. I hope Master can quickly make her believe. Zhongming immediately became displeased when he heard this. Why should he make her believe? Besides, what good would it do if she believed? So, Zhongming didn't want to bother with the system anymore. He just felt that the system was simply sick. He had already made things very clear, but he hadn't expected things to turn out like this, so he was naturally very unhappy, but he still didn't say much. He just felt that Sakura Kojima winning this magic wand today made Zhongming particularly happy, and he had already negotiated the winning probability with the system. It's just that the money they earn now will be less, but Zhongming felt that as long as he could sell lottery tickets in these places, there would be a way no matter where he was. I believe you should be clear in your heart. Besides, what can I do if this woman doesn't believe me? You shouldn't dwell on these issues anymore. Besides, why do you care so much? Because Zhongming felt that this was his own business. Besides, some people definitely don't believe in lotteries, so he didn't need to make everyone believe, right? This system was meddling too much. At this moment, Zhongming's thoughts were that simple, but he really didn't say much more. He just felt that this system was really a bit ridiculous. Just then, Zhongming suddenly discovered a golden lottery ticket that flew into the system. At this moment, the system suddenly said to Zhongming, "See, with the charm of this system, do I still need you to make this woman believe? She already believes she won." Zhongming naturally knew that this was a sign of winning, and the lottery tickets in Sakura Kojima's hand were gone. Now, only Sakurako Kojima had lottery tickets in her hand. It should be her, so Zhongming was naturally very happy at this moment. Unexpectedly, Zhongming suddenly came in front of Sakurako Kojima and said to her, "Didn't you not believe it? Why do you believe it now?" Unexpectedly, Sakurako Kojima's face turned red, and she didn't know how to explain. She just felt very embarrassed, so at this moment, she just gave Zhongming a white look. Unexpectedly, Zhongming suddenly said to her, "You should know our rules here. Anyway, this lottery ticket has already won, but I think you look really scary. Look, you cursed me the moment you came, and you're still doing it now." Zhongming directly said this to Sakurako Kojima. To him, he found this matter very interesting. Besides, Sakurako Kojima had always been very cute, so Zhongming found it quite amusing now. But as for what would happen next, he could just wait and see. To him, he felt that none of it mattered. The most important thing was that he found Sakurako Kojima quite cute, only her mouth was too venomous. Otherwise, he could still be good friends with her. Zhongming didn't think too much, just looking at the girl in front of him. Sakura Kojima quickly came over and discovered that her older sister had actually won the lottery and believed the ticket, so Sakura was naturally very happy at this moment. At this moment, Sakura Kojima truly looked like a fairy, still wearing that outfit, meaning she hadn't changed back to her original appearance. So what if it is? I'm telling you, this lottery ticket was originally given to my sister by you, and my sister gave it to me. Since that's the case, then this lottery ticket is mine. Why can't I scratch it? What does it have to do with you? Zhongming was instantly speechless when he heard that. Sure enough, this person's mouth was truly venomous. Even at this moment, she could still do such a thing. So Zhongming naturally understood in his heart. He really didn't expect to encounter such a woman, but on second thought, perhaps this was what a woman should be like. Yes, everything you said is right. This matter is certainly none of my business, but what can I do? You yourself aren't unaware, and besides, at this moment, I think this matter is very important. Anyway, Zhongming had already said this to Sakurako Kojima. To him, he felt this was very important, and as for the rest, it didn't matter. He just found it quite amusing that the woman in front of him was saying these things to him. But what could that do? Anyway, he was still being stubborn. Every time someone won, didn't they come to him to redeem their prize? But she was like this instead. So you don't want to redeem the prize, is that what you're saying? You see, you've already won yourself. I didn't expect that among just these few lottery tickets, there would be so many winning ones. If I had known, I definitely would have collected them. Sakura Kojima happened to hear Zhongming's words at this moment, and when Zhongming turned around and saw Sakura here, he was instantly embarrassed. Anyway, at this moment, he felt that this matter was really strange. It had already turned out like this. The most important point was that Sakurako Kojima was very concerned about this matter now. As for the rest, it didn't matter. The most important thing was, for Sakurako Kojima. He felt this was very serious, and he really didn't expect that the older brother would actually say such things to his older sister. So Zhongming was naturally very embarrassed and wanted to explain something, but he still didn't know what to explain. Master, you cannot do this. Doing this violates the rules. Besides, we already have regulations here. If someone wins a prize, it must be given to them. So I hope Master can quickly return the prize to the person. When Zhongming heard this, he instantly felt that the system was truly detestable. The last time he talked to someone about this, it was also like this. But he had never seen one that could be like this. The most important point was that he found this system truly detestable. He was half a master. He was also the boss of this lottery shop, yet he couldn't even make decisions about such matters, so he was naturally very angry. Alright, I don't have the mind to keep arguing with you now. You should just take care of it yourself. Besides, this lottery ticket has already won, and you should know that in your heart. Quickly give me the prize. Now Sakurako Kojima looked like she was about to take the prize. To her, she felt this matter was very important. Besides, if she won, she definitely had to get the prize, no matter what. At this moment, Zhongming had already seen that Sakurako Kojima. It was because she already knew the rules here that she was so familiar and confidently demanded the prize from him. When Sakura Kojima heard Zhongming say these things from the side, she naturally cared a lot in her heart. She really didn't expect that Zhongming would treat her sister this way, so she felt a little unbearable at this moment and quickly came directly to Zhongming. Brother Zhongming, how can you treat my sister like this? Although my sister is usually nice to you, and I know my sister's behavior isn't very good, I apologize to you on her behalf, but I hope you can give her the prize. Now, when Zhongming heard this, he was instantly a little embarrassed. After all, Sakura Kojima had already come out and said these things, so Zhongming didn't know how to answer. After all, facing such a woman, Zhongming had many thoughts in his heart, because he never expected that he would face such a thing next, but what could he do? Anyway, he felt that Sakurako Kojima was really amazing, to be able to treat him like this. At this moment, Zhongming still wanted to tease Sakurako Kojima, even if Sakurako Kojima was very anxious now and really wanted to get her prize. I'm telling you, if you keep going like this, be careful I won't give you your prize. You're not unaware of what kind of person I am. To me, this matter is very important. Besides, you can still understand now. Now Zhongming had directly said this to Sakurako Kojima, but he didn't expect the system to suddenly come out and talk to Zhongming again, so Zhongming instantly exploded. Master, you cannot do this. This is our lottery rule, so the prize must be given to those who win. Otherwise, it would be a violation, and we won't be able to continue. Master is the rule. The system began to seriously lecture Zhongming again, and Zhongming instantly became furious. What kind of trashy system are you? As the master, I at least have the right to speak. How dare you talk to me like that? All that aside, the most important thing is that you can actually say such things to me now. It's truly too much. Besides, Zhongming was just talking. He didn't really care for that treasure, and he had won many things. Anyway, For Zhang Ming, he felt that he already had enough money and was half a boss. He could win many prizes in this system's lottery. He could always win 1 or 2 treasures, right? Was he really that fond of Sakurako Kojima's treasure? So, Zhang Ming was naturally speechless. He really didn't expect to encounter such a system. It was outrageous. So, Zhang Ming continued to berate the system, but unexpectedly, the system suddenly became quiet. Zhang Ming finally felt a sense of relief. Just then, Sakura Kojima naturally noticed. So Zhang Ming was this kind of person. It was truly frightening. She didn't expect brother Zhang Ming to be like this when he lost his temper. So, Sakura Kojima didn't know what to say. Unexpectedly, Sakurako Kojima suddenly became angry and was no longer as arrogant as usual. Instead, she spoke loudly to Zhang Ming directly. Although I just said, what does it have to do with you? Since I won, you should give me the prize. My idea is that simple. Quickly give me your prize. You should know this is the rule. Zhang Ming originally thought that with Sakurako Kojima's temper, she would definitely not ask him for the prize again, she might even leave in a fit of pique. Unexpectedly, she had now lost her temper and was determined to entangle with Zhang Ming until she got her prize, otherwise, she wouldn't leave. At this moment, Sakura Kojima naturally understood. So her sister was like this. Actually, this was quite good. So, Zhang Ming was naturally very happy and then said to Sakurako Kojima with a playful smile. Sakurako Kojima, I've already told you, I would never embezzle your prize. Rest assured. Besides, this isn't a big deal to begin with. Would I really care for such a prize? I'll get it for you right away. The system stopped talking because it had realized that the difficulty was just like this. A person was just joking with someone and not being serious. So, Zhang Ming finally felt good inside. Besides, this system was really too much. But at this moment, this broken system was no longer speaking. Just then, Zhang Ming directly took out a pill. This pill was actually a pill that could grant more advanced ninjutsu. For Sakurako Kojima, it was the best possible outcome. After all, Sakurako Kojima's family was a large clan, and in such a large clan, one had to excel. Moreover, she was the eldest sister, so Sakura Kojima could be mischievous, but she could not. So, Zhang Ming felt that he was quite lucky to have drawn such a pill. How about it? Are you finally satisfied with this pill that just came out? I can tell you, the magical treasures I have here are simply countless. As long as it's possible, they're naturally all good. You understand that yourself. Zhang Ming directly said these things to Sakurako Kojima. For him, he thought this was still good. Sakurako Kojima was such a person, she appeared very cold and had a sharp tongue. However, she was cold on the outside but warm on the inside, so she was just as happy when facing her younger sister. Besides, she had also won a prize, and it was indeed not a lie. And she received this pill, satisfied, and said nothing more. So, at this moment, she understood everything in her heart, but just didn't want to speak anymore. Just then, Zhang Ming was naturally very happy in his heart. Because he felt that such a young girl could finally understand. In Zhang Ming's heart, he had always regarded Sakurako Kojima as a young girl, nothing else. For me, I think meeting such a lovely young girl like you is naturally a very happy thing. Other things aren't that important, but you always misunderstand. Now that Zhang Ming found Sakurako Kojima was very happy, he could finally express his inner thoughts. Sakurako Kojima saw this scene and naturally said nothing more. She also found this matter quite interesting and then didn't do anything else. Anyway, Zhang Ming had already felt that this girl was indeed quite cute. Then, when Sakura Kojima found that everything had become peaceful, she became even happier. After all, Sakura Kojima felt that having such a brother Zhang Ming was naturally a very happy thing, and both her sister and brother Zhang Ming had reconciled. Great, sister. I told you, brother Zhang Ming wouldn't lie to you. Look, now that you've obtained this ninjutsu, it's truly wonderful. How I envy you, but I don't have it. Just then, Sakurako Kojima naturally doted on her younger sister very much, so she decided to give this pill to her sister. However, Sakura Kojima was also thinking of her sister and naturally refused to accept it. At this moment, the two of them decided. They would still divide this pill in half, each eating half. At this moment, Zhang Ming suddenly thought of a very terrifying thing in his mind. This pill could indeed grant invisibility if eaten. But if each person only ate half, then would they only be half invisible? Would it be the upper body that could be invisible or the lower body? So, Zhongming suddenly fell into deep thought but never said much, only finding it very amusing. Master, you don't need to think so much. That will only reduce the time they are invisible. It's definitely not what Master thinks. As soon as Zhongming heard the system say this, he was instantly speechless. So, this broken system could actually know what he was thinking. This was truly too terrifying. So, Zhongming glared fiercely at the system. Unexpectedly, the system suddenly stopped talking, and Zhongming felt that this system was truly hateful. Everything he had just thought had already been known by it. This broken system of yours is too terrifying. Zhongming was actually still a bit worried about Konoha village. He really wanted to return home in glory, but he was still very anxious. After all, he felt that Uzumaki Naruto had already come and told him about the situation there before, so at this moment, he naturally wanted to go back and see, but he felt that he didn't have the opportunity for now. So, at this moment, Zhongming's heart was still somewhat heavy, but he still didn't know what to do. After all, his tasks here hadn't been completed yet, he had to finish them first. We still have 5,000 lottery tickets left to sell. For me, I think it would be great if we could sell them all today. How about we go to another place? Zhongming was now very worried that something might happen to Konoha village, so he could only work hard selling lottery tickets here. He had finally sold 2,000 tickets, and now only 5,000 remained to complete all the tasks, so Zhongming was naturally very anxious. He didn't know what to do, so he decided to change locations and continue selling. However, all the people who usually bought his lottery tickets had already bought them. Now, only 5,000 tickets remained. What do you all think we should do at this moment? Other things aside, the most important thing is that we have to go and see quickly. If something really happened to Konoha village, I would be very worried. After all, Zhongming knew very well how well Uzumaki Naruto had learned his ninjutsu. If Zhongming remembered correctly, he thought Uzumaki Naruto's ninjutsu was indeed very good, but what was going on? So, at this moment, he was naturally still a bit worried, not knowing what to do, just thinking that this person was truly terrifying. Then, at this moment, Zhongming began to wonder if something had really happened there, which was why Uzumaki Naruto hadn't come to tell him what was wrong. Don't worry yourself here. Actually, I already sent a message via carrier pigeon to Uzumaki Naruto early on, telling him to hold on no matter what, and he told me that everything was fine. Now that Sakurako Kojima had directly told Zhongming this, Zhongming was naturally very surprised. He really hadn't expected this to happen. The most important point was that Zhongming also hadn't expected that Sakurako Kojima had been thinking of him all along, otherwise, it wouldn't have been like this. So, this time, Zhongming was grateful from the bottom of his heart. He was very grateful to this girl, but he never expressed this gratitude, only feeling that this matter was very important, and he really didn't expect that Sakurako Kojima could do so much for him. Zhongming naturally felt very happy, and Sakura Kojima was also very surprised. She hadn't expected her older sister, who usually targeted Zhongming so much, to secretly do so many good things for him. So, he naturally changed his view of his older sister significantly, and even Panghu and Jing Shang now had a good impression of Sakurako Kojima. Did you really do that? You told Uzumaki Naruto a long time ago, but it's been several days now, and I don't know what the situation is like recently. There hasn't been a reply either. At this moment, Sakurako Kojima also looked disdainful. For her, she felt that meeting someone like Zhongming was sometimes a happy thing, and sometimes not. What she actually wanted to say to Zhongming was, "Meeting you makes me happy, meeting you makes me unhappy. You are both a blessing and a tribulation. Don't worry, don't worry. He sent me a letter the day before yesterday, saying that things over there are still good. Teacher Uruka has also returned, so you don't have to worry so much anymore. Besides, he's a teacher at a school, after all." When Zhongming heard this, he felt that it was indeed the case. Uruka was, after all, a teacher at the ninjutsu school. If anything were to happen, then others would definitely blame him, so at this moment, Zhongming felt that this matter wasn't as complicated or terrifying as he had imagined. So, at this moment, Zhongming felt that Sakurako Kojima was indeed a very smart person, always able to do something at such critical moments. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for this matter. I didn't expect it to be resolved so quickly, and the people from the Akatsuki organization should be fine now, right? Sakura Kojima was now looking at her older sister with admiration. She really hadn't expected her older sister to be such a thoughtful person. Having resolved these things so quickly, Zhang Ming's opinion of Sakurako Kojima had also changed a lot, and Peng Hu and the others were naturally very happy. They really hadn't expected to meet such a person, they were truly delighted. So, at this moment, he naturally spoke to Peng Hu and the others. From now on, you don't have to worry so much. Just focus on selling lottery tickets. Then, we'll go back and have a good look. And if I remember correctly, you were thinking of returning home in glory, right? Zhang Ming now finally understood that Sakurako Kojima, though she didn't say anything on the surface, actually understood everything in her heart and cared about these things very much. Otherwise, she wouldn't have understood so thoroughly, so Zhang Ming naturally felt very happy in his heart. It seemed he had truly misunderstood her before. He even made her so embarrassed before. Thinking of this, Zhang Ming felt a little guilty, but he still didn't say anything more. After all, Zhang Ming understood at this moment that the more he said, the more likely he was to make a mistake. These are the latest lottery tickets. Everyone, hurry up and buy them. And the winning probability has increased a lot. Maybe you'll win the prize. The next lucky person could be you. In the past, he always let Jing Shang and Peng Hu stand here and shout, but Zhang Ming felt that as the boss behind the scenes, it wasn't very good. So, at this moment, Zhang Ming personally came here to shout for everyone. Indeed, being good-looking has its advantages. So many women, upon seeing how handsome Zhang Ming was, they quickly came over. Actually, their attention wasn't on the lottery tickets at all, but entirely on the man's face. Such a handsome guy must be looking at me. Look at me a few more times. It's all my fault for not putting on rouge today. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe for more videos.